Tonight, heartfelt condolences and calls for action from our community after Louisville experienced its second mass shooting in 1 week's time. While our hearts are heavy in Louisville, Connor Steffen finds a message of hope tonight.
In your word, thou shalt not kill, Father, Lord God.
With prayers,
Father, Lord God, too many bloods is being shed, Father, Lord God.
and promises,
I will continue to work with our elected officials and with families.
stands a united front,
We have been mourning all week.
championing peace
No matter what we look like, whatever our age is, we have to come together.
for a city tired and broken.
Yesterday, I went to bed in sorrow, and I woke up today in sorrow.
Councilwoman Donna Purvis mourns with her district, as do many in the metro tonight. Saturday, Chickasaw Park, a historic cornerstone of the West End community, became the site of Louisville's second mass shooting this week. An unknown gunman opened fire into a crowd, shooting 6 people. Right now, 2 of those victims are dead.
Things are not going to change until we change.
In the wake of yet another unthinkable tragedy, a crowd of close to 100 gathered, determined not defeated.
We're not going to let crime take over our neighborhoods, take our lives, and take our kids, and take our neighbors, and they're not going to do it because we're not going to allow it.
From condolences
These are not headlines. These are not stats. These are families.
to calls for action,
I just want us to do something different and leverage our power to actually stop this from happening.
30-plus speakers voiced what's on the hearts and minds of many in our community, from community leaders to elected officials comprising Louisville, Frankfort, and D.C.
And no matter where gun violence happens in this community, it's a problem. And it is a problem that we have to work on to solve.
Mayor Craig Greenberg garnered national attention this past week, asking Frankfort to give Louisville autonomy to solve its unique gun crisis. Saturday, he gave an update on those efforts.
Yesterday morning, my day began talking to state legislators of the Republican Party. I'm cautiously optimistic because everyone agrees these acts of gun violence must end.
As we mourn, a shift in tone from taking pause to taking action. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 team.
And since news broke of this mass shooting, we've heard from a number of people who don't understand the historical importance of Chickasaw Park for Louisville's black community. So here it is, the original design from 1923. During segregation, this was the largest park in Louisville, specifically made for black people. It quickly became a gathering place for black people in Louisville, and that remained through 1955 when it was desegregated. And it's a gathering place today, visited daily by everyone from our neighbors to elected officials. To quote the Olmsted Parks Conservancy, for black people of Louisville, this park has always been and always will be their park. LMPD is still investigating 4 more shootings around the metro this weekend. The most recent happening early this afternoon in the Shelby Park neighborhood, leaving a man fighting for his life. LMPD says they responded to the shooting at about 1 p.m. on South Shelby Street near East Kentucky Street. When they arrived, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds. He was alert, conscious, and talking while being transported to the hospital. However, officials say his injuries are life-threatening. Also, late last night, a teenager was shot while riding his bike in the Portland neighborhood. Officers responded around 11:15 to Griffiths Avenue near North 22nd Street, where LMPD said 2 men started shooting at a 17-year-old boy as he rode by on his bike. They shot him multiple times. We're told he is conscious and he was talking while being taken to the hospital, and he is expected to survive. Then, early this morning, a man was shot and killed on Bardstown Road near Baxter Avenue. Police say just before 4:30 this morning, they responded to the shooting, and when they arrived, they found Keontae Ramsey suffering at least 1 gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital, where he later died from his injuries. If anyone has information on any of these shootings, including the mass shooting at Chickasaw Park last night, you're encouraged to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And Louisville is not the only place in America struggling with the grips of gun violence this weekend. A birthday party in small-town Alabama turned deadly Saturday evening after gunfire erupted at the venue. 4 killed and many others injured. One hospital confirmed most of the injured there were being treated and were teenagers. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details.
A Sweet 16 birthday party turned tragic Saturday evening.
Police have blocked off Broadneck Street in Dadeville.
Gunfire erupting at this dance hall in Dadeville, Alabama, a small community about 60 miles northeast of Montgomery.
4 lives were lost in the tragic event that occurred here in Dadeville. As far as the injuries, there are 28 individuals that were injured during the course of the incident. Some of those injuries are critical.
Among those killed, 18-year-old Phil Dowdall, a promising young football star who was headed to Jacksonville State on a scholarship this fall. It was his sister's birthday party.
Phil is a humble, a major smile. He had one goal is to, get to the NFL and take care of his mom.
Authorities have asked the public for any information that could help in the investigation.
So if you are at home right now or you know somebody that has any information about what occurred last night, I cannot stress this enough. Ever how minor you think it is, we absolutely need you to share it.
The tight-knit community now grieving.
Our thoughts and prayers are with all the families. There are no words to describe the emotions that we're all feeling.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been at least 163 mass shootings so far this year, more than 1.5 per day, the highest on record at this point of the year. President Biden once again calling on Congress to enact common-sense gun control legislation, writing in a statement, "What has our nation come to when children cannot attend a birthday party without fear, when parents have to worry every time their kids walk out the door to school, to the movie theater, or to the park?" Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
And President Biden released earlier today another statement noting both the shootings, saying in part, our nation is once again grieving after the shootings in Alabama and here at home in Louisville. He goes on to say, Jill and I are praying for their families and for the many others injured and fighting for their lives in the wake of this weekend's gun violence. Across the metro this morning, thousands gathered at churches as pastors delivered their Sunday sermons. A lot of them hit a different tone after the violence we saw this week. Pastors pleading with their congregations for change.
Oh God, many hearts are broken today, and there are many who are grieving from the loss of loved ones from this senseless tragedy this week. And we had yet another one last night, oh God.
One of my friend's sons who got killed last night. This world needs Jesus.
Martin Luther King said we must get rid of violence, or violence will get rid of us.
Well, Sunday is Easter, and then less than 24 hours later, I get a text waking me up Monday morning from a police officer asking for immediate and urgent prayer.
And if you're at all worried today, because I've mentioned Monday that I'm going to engage in a speech about the Second Amendment today, or engage in a lot of politics, I'm not standing before you to do that. I do believe that there are political solutions to be found for the problem of gun violence and the many other problems that we face in our world today, but I'm weary of conversations and debate around this issue that only puts the problem as a problem of gun control or mental illness or policing. I think I want to say yes to all of that. This isn't only a thing that we look for a political solution to. What we saw Monday for the 146th time this year, to a spiritual crisis and a theological crisis that we have in our world today that points to how we are caring, and in some cases not caring to and for those around us.
It's been a tough, long, emotional week for a lot of us. So if you or someone you know are struggling, please reach out for help. We have a list of resources over on our website, but you can also always call or text 988. Again, just 988 for immediate help at any time.